Boeing has provided a vivid example of bad outsourcing for large complex systems. They should have known better, but what about software development? Even though the stakes are usually much smaller, outsourcing software development can be very difficult. Other than the limited set of cases where you might outsource a specialized task to a specialist, outsourcing in software development is often proportionately a very large problem relative to the size of a software project. Some of the reasons are specific to software development and to the usual ways companies that need outsourced developers find and use them. The usual outsourcing criteria apply. You want outsourcing suppliers who are specialists with demonstrated superior results in the kinds of things you want them to produce. If you outsource just to get lower costs, you will have a much greater chance of getting bad results. Even if you are not incorrectly focusing on cost as the primary criterion, you have the problem that the best people have already been hired by large, prestigious companies that can operate their own offices in big outsourcing hubs. Or you might be sold a team that looks like a bunch of experts, but as your project proceeds, they get swapped out to other projects as the outsourcing firm has been hired to work on. Agile software projects are particularly poor candidates for outsourcing because one of the advantages of Agile is to be able to start a project with only a sketch of specifications. When outsourcing, that will lead to either large numbers of change requests and possibly contract renegotiations, or some very unagile inflexibility. You can't count on your outsourcing partners to tell you these things or to shield you from these problems. There are a few exceptions, of course, mainly expensive, high-end development shops that are truly dedicated to an Agile approach. Being true to the Agile idea is their selling point. Contractual obligations for timeliness, quality, and other values you may try to write into a contract are particularly difficult to enforce in software projects. Outsourcing companies have a lot more experience managing their customers than you will have managing these outsourcing companies. There is a way around these problems if your outsourcing needs are relatively small. You can hire individual contract developers and integrate them into your team for the duration of a project. You will need enough in-house expertise to manage a team made at least partly out of out-of-house contract developers. But this may result in lower costs while retaining sufficient control and flexibility. Boeing's outsourcing troubles are fascinating, but there's a lesson in them for people interested in software development project management. Don't become a victim of your own bad outsourcing.